The challenge I've seen in this, in the research I've done, is that you've really got to go big or go home. In other words, when Elon Musk says, I'm going to put 1 million people on Mars, everybody says, oh, wow, 1 million people. But the problem is that won't have any real impact on the terrestrial population because we've got 8 billion people. And it could really strain Mars. We don't know much about what Mars can deal with. So do you think this could get big enough that the O'Neillian idea that we could have really, really large numbers of people and activities stretching out into a larger ecosystem?
If I were worried about the environmental, well, I am. So given that I am worried about the environmental sustainability of the planet, I would not look to space, to space's ability to be an escape valve or something as the way to solve that problem. I think we can do a lot of great environmental things from space in terms of Earth observation and potentially even really important things like space-based solar, which is quite speculative, but could be a big deal. Will it solve our environmental problems fast enough? I wouldn't bet on it. So I would do all the other things we're doing. Even though I am actually quite an optimist, I think, on the eventual potential of space to house many, many humans, but I wouldn't go to the environmental arguments first, I think, at least not the short-term ones.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm really encouraged by, there seems to be a real thread in the space community of folks who really do care about the environment, and that is in part what brought them to the space community. I'm thinking, for example, of the folks at Planet, publicly traded remote sensing company, who are deeply involved and deep believers in the ability of space technology to solve problems on Earth, and they've had tremendous results already. I'm not sure about when that tipping point will happen, the tipping point where we start moving activities into space. But something that I think we can look for in the near future is, what is the impact of a system like Starship, which not only is its lift capacity much, much greater, but because of the shape and the payload size and the capacity, you can start doing more and more different kinds of things in space. You can start redefining what a spacecraft looks like. It'll take time for these kinds of things to develop, but that's one thing that I'm watching for is, do we start thinking about traditional space activities differently? Satellites look different. Can we start really putting more people up in space? What does that look like? And one last thing I'll tag is that I'm not sure to what extent the number of people we have in space is directly tied to our ability to have ambitious space goals. I'm a believer in automation and just, as we get better and better at software and really integrating innovative software and some of these next generation hardware space concepts, I think that it is a much faster path to have autonomous systems in space. And it just makes it easier for people who are excited and want to achieve some of these ambitious goals faster. I think not having to have everything be human rated and bring up all of our own water and oxygen and everything, it helps me sleep at night knowing, okay, I don't necessarily have to survive up there for whatever system up there to make an impact back here on Earth.